Welcome back to LearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and as you can tell from the countdown clock, the lesson is about to get started. In case you're new with us, there's a few things I'd like to show you to help you throughout the lesson. These lessons are always guided and shaped by your questions, and if you're live with us today, there's a couple different ways you can do that. One is in the public live chat, and the other is the Ask Jamin a Question button, where you can ask me a question privately, and I won't share your identity in case you're afraid that your question is stupid. But it's not. If you're in the archives, though, then just open up the survey. At the end of that, there's a place where you can ask your question. I will say I frequently get questions from students in the archives watching a lesson from 6 months ago, and I have no idea what they're talking about. So please try to be as specific as possible. If you're watching this at LearnPianoLive.com, there should be a PDF and an MP3 button right next to this video. The PDF will often have additional video links inside so you can get more in-depth instruction on each of the topics. And if you're the kind of person who likes to print out the PDF so you can make the same notes on your physical version as I'm making during the lesson, now would be the time to do that. The MP3 is just a play-along track so you can practice more after the lesson. In traditional lessons, a teacher is going to actually present some new concept for maybe 5 or 10 minutes every couple weeks. The rest of the time is going to be spent applying and refining those concepts. Well, here I'm spouting off hours of new information every week, so it's totally unreasonable to expect you to actually absorb all of that. Instead, the goal of these live lessons is for you to find some little nugget of something that makes sense, but is a bit of a challenge, and for you to go practice it, because practice is where all the improvement's going to happen. So don't feel bad if you have to leave the live lesson when you find that little thing that you're going to practice. And of course, if I'm going too fast, you can always rewind the live lessons or replay in the archives as much as you want. If these live lessons start feeling random or meandering, it's because they are, on purpose. So if you're the kind of person who wants classical training with a step-by-step method, then you're going to want to check out Kloppel Academy on the website. It's included in your live lesson subscription, so you can do both or either. And the upper levels are seriously hard work, but it's going to take you all the way from ground zero all the way up to being ready to enter any major music college as a piano major in classical or jazz. And finally, it's most people's favorite. This is application, where we take the past concepts from other live lessons and we see how they apply to an actual, real song that already exists. And since there's like 1,000 different ways to play any song, you're just going to work on the version that is appropriate for your level. So that might just mean playing one note at a time for right now. Or maybe you're working on chords or covering the full song. Or maybe you're just seeing how the song breaks down so you can better write and transcribe your own songs in the future. But whatever your level is, the goal is not this song. So even if you don't play the whole entire song, you'll get better by even attempting a little bit of it, and attempt it we shall. Welcome back to LearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and this is the incomparable Kendra. Run to the cameras.
Guess what? I attended a Zoom class on Friday, and there was a music supervisor in the Zoom class, and I had entered my music supervisors decide songs for TV shows.
Yes.
So I entered my song in their free contest.
Wait, hang on. Go back.
Yeah.
So you said I was in a Zoom class.
I was in a Zoom
Not for school.
No.
Like this is a separate
as a totally optional
cool.
thing for TV show song stuff.
Right. Okay.
And I had entered my song just because why not? And I won their free contest, and
Yes, you
the
did.
music supervisor now knows who I am, and it's very exciting. I don't know if anything's gonna happen with it, but
you
very,
just keep
very
you just
happy.
keep going. You just keep putting your name out there.
Right.
And the more
Yes.
people there are like that, yeah.
So
Way to go.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
It's very exciting.
You're very cool.
Thanks.
Very cool.
Thank you.
All right. Well, this song here seems timely. We're gonna be okay. Few things. This is "Don't Worry, Be Happy" by Bobby McFerrin. And if you don't know who Bobby McFerrin is, congratulations on being under 30 years old. And also, he's really cool. You should go check out some of his stuff. Unfortunately, like he's one of those guys where like his.
I want you to turn your mic up.
Turn my mic up. Cool. Gladly.
Oh.
Is that better? So he's one of those guys that like the thing that made him most famous was not his best work. But you know, whatever. I would take the millions. And so he's, if you like go check out some of his other works. It's really, really talented guy, really cool guy. So we're gonna be in the key of 5 sharps. So basically everything in the universe is sharp. So if you already know some of the letters on the piano, then cool. If not, don't worry about it. I'm going to go through all that stuff. But if this does not terrify you, it should. All of the Fs, because this sharp right here is on the F line. That line is for the note F. Again, if this doesn't make sense, cool. We're going to go backwards on all this stuff. But if it does, then all your Fs are going to be sharp. All your C's are going to be sharp because this space right here is a C. All the G's are going to be sharp. All the D's are going to be sharp. And all the A's are going to be sharp through the entire song, which means the only thing that's not going to be sharp is a B and an E. So B's are not sharp and E's are not sharp. Everything else is sharp. So anywhere it says to play an F or a C or a G or a D or an A, it's going to be sharp. So you're going to be playing a lot of black notes here, which actually in a lot of cases makes it easier because like they like, hey, I haven't played any wrong notes. These are all the right notes for this song. That's kind of cool. So we're going to start out on a B. In order to find a B, you're just going to take any group of 3 black notes, like those right there, and take the note that's all the way to the right and drag it even farther to the right until you land on a white note. And when you land on that white note will be a B in every single case. As long as you've picked a group of 3, you'll find a B right above that group of 3. So we're going to play that one. And then this note is called a G sharp because it's slightly higher than what a G would be. You don't need to memorize all that stuff right now. You can go back in the video and watch this later. Or if you know your letters already, then just go slightly above where a G is. You land on a G sharp, and then you're gonna also play an F sharp. And those are gonna be the first 3 notes of the song. This is the part that does not have the words yet. It's just so that part right there has no words to it. So it's gonna be a B, and then a G sharp, and then an F, or those notes if you don't want to worry about the letter names. That thing above the group of 3, the middle note in a group of 3, and then the left note in a group of 3. And that's the beginning of it. And actually, that's a lot of it, because after that, you're just going to go back up to the G sharp. And then we're going to have to take a big jump down to the note that's on the bottom of a group of 2. So make sure you go this direction to get to your C sharp. It's also the note that happens to be right above a C. So again, all of these notes so far are B, G sharp, F sharp, G sharp, and then right here we're going to aim for this D sharp, but we're going to pass by that C sharp really quickly, like that. So we're going to go B, G sharp, F sharp, G sharp, C, D, like that. And then F sharp, and then D sharp, C sharp, B. So like I said, a lot of black notes, but we're almost done with this section. We're going to go back to these 2 notes right here to play a C sharp and a D sharp and a C sharp. So far what we have is, and this should take some practice. You should not be able to play this perfectly yet if you would consider yourself a beginner by any means. So or even a lot of intermediate students. Like, it's just a lot of notes to keep track of. So B, I'm not going to say the sharps just for the sake of time, so I don't have to like cram in the word sharp after each of these, but it's going to be B, G, F, G, C, D, F, D, C, B, C, D, C, with a billion sharps in there. And then if you just take that last thing that we did right there, that chunk right there, and just repeat that, that is the next chunk right there. Same exact thing. So we just repeat that chunk. And then we're going to play almost the same thing, but just like the last chunk of it right here. Not the F. Oh, no, sorry. That's not quite true. This chunk right here coming down is going to be that chunk right there, with the exception that over here it was a D sharp, and over here it's going to be a D natural. So instead of playing a D sharp, you're going to play a D natural. Now, if that's too confusing for you, you can play a D natural or a D sharp there. It won't sound wrong. It's just not quite exactly what he does. So we're going to play either a D sharp or a D natural, C sharp, B, down to G sharp, and then back up to B. So these notes right there. So then that whole entire first line would be B, G, F, G, C, D, F, D, C, B, C, D, C, D, C, F, D, C, B, C, D, C, C, D, B, G, B. And then this guy over here is called a repeat sign. So whenever you see those double dots, that means go back and repeat the whole thing. So you would repeat all of those notes. But I want to move on to the part that has the melody in it, where we can actually say the words. It's going to go back and forth between a D sharp and a C sharp.
Hey Jamin, it's time for our feature of the day, which today is the tip of the day.
Yes, and the tip of the day actually applies a lot to this song, because most people, when they practice their songs, are going straight from the beginning, and then they just go as far as they can until they mess up, and then they go again, and they go again, and they go again, and they keep making it farther and farther and farther each time, which means by the time they can play the last note kind of mediocre, they've played the first note like 3 trillion times. And so as it turns out, you start out sounding great, and by the end of the song, like, that's the part that sounds the worst. So my saxophone teacher back when I was younger told me that, like, if you start at the end of the song and work your way backwards, that's actually, like, then when you're playing the song, you keep getting better and better and better. So I would usually take the ending phrase as I was practicing something, I'd just like learn that section right there and get really good at that section, and then keep adding sections to it before that, so that as I'm playing through the song, I'm becoming more and more confident, and the least confident part is at the front. Now, as it turns out, then, if you're a human being, you probably don't want that first part to sound bad. So you're probably going to end up practicing that first part a whole lot anyway, because you want to start off sounding good. So if you start by practicing at the end, then that's a really strong, solid part. And then your humanity is going to force you, your pride is going to force you to practice that first part a whole bunch anyway. And so it's just going to be a lot stronger all the way through. So, and this is especially true on anything that has a really difficult rhythm. Rhythms are usually easier when they're backwards, because you find out the landing beat of that. And that probably applies more if you're in Clapple Academy. That makes more sense than if you're just working through a song. But if you got a difficult rhythm, always jump to the end of it and see, where does this land? This lands on beat 4. Cool. Then land your note on beat 4 and work your rhythm backwards. But whether it's the melody or the rhythm, working backwards really helps a whole lot. But we're going to go forwards through this song after this short break. So sadly, the lesson preview has come to an end, and it's time to say goodbye to everyone watching the free streams. Of course, paying subscribers at learnpianolive.com can continue watching this lesson and several hundred others like it in the archives. So come on over and check us out. And if you like what you saw, at least like and subscribe, and then tell your friends to head on over to learnpianolive.com to start enjoying this journey with us.